see the drip. Looking like money and smelling like success. We bring in that authentic, flavorful, late night energy straight to your screen. Don't play with it. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Here's V-Styles.
Welcome, y'all. Little technical difficulties today. Welcome to Late Night with Styles, Wednesday night edition. As always, man, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Trying to get my stuff settled. It's something when you when we have the locker right before, sometimes I had to regroup. And I was a little late today. Same way I was a little late on the locker, I'm a little late today. But as always, I appreciate y'all sharing y'all evenings with little old me. And little old me, man, it is something when you start getting further and further away from your playing day. I understand now, when I was in the NFL, how so many of the older guys were trying to play long enough for their kids to see them play. I get it now. I really do. Guys with multiple injuries keep coming back. Some guys come back for the lifestyle. Some guys continue to play because they just want to see, they want to have their kids around the facilities, around them, so they can understand what their dad was doing, being proud of their dad, all that stuff. I get it now. I truly do. And that's the same thing with what happened today. If you don't know, I'll tell you. Now we're 17 days away from our first game. And I wore the number 17. So Corey Peters put out a clip. I can talk about the clip too. A clip today, an image of my interception against Georgia. And I'm just telling y'all, this isn't no bragging about anything, but this isn't the first time one of my images have been used for the this time of year. So I said Corey Peters, didn't I? Corey Price. We were talking about on the locker. If you missed the locker, you missed a great show about an hour or so ago. We was talking about ex-players. I said Corey Peters. I heard in my head, I'm like, that's not Corey Peters, it's Corey Price. So Corey Price sent out an image of the interception against Georgia. And sometimes, y'all, man, it's just weird how I start the show and I go on these diatribes. But sometimes, y'all, as athletes, and as people, but as athletes, and I'm saying this because fans get on athletes for stuff, and sometimes you just don't know. Like, I needed that today. Like I said, this is not the first time it's been used, but today it came at the perfect time. And when you are decades away from your last playing day, to have someone recognize you on the day that you really need something was huge, man. And so it kind of struck me a little harder today. And look, God works in mysterious ways, and he knew that today I just needed that little to get me going. And it's awesome, man. I don't think fans understand how much you guys can change a player's day by just recognizing them. Especially as older guys, when you start getting so far away where it's like these kids were these kids not even thought about when I played football in college. I mean, you is 2026. There were kids born in the early 2000s that have no idea what happened between 93 and 96. No idea. There are fans now that have no idea about the 1994 season and all the stuff that led up to that season that made it a tough season for us. There are moments like that people just forget. And again, that was a right time post by Corey Price, not Corey Peters, by Corey Price today. And I truly appreciate it. I think I can't say it well enough to have everyone understand how great, how much that meant on this day. And so I want people to understand there are players, and I've talked about this before, there are players that are going through stuff just like we all go through stuff on a daily basis that is not publicized until if you're fortunate enough to go in the NFL draft and they have these backstories and you understand their background, why they are here, what made them this, and what injuries they had that you might not have known about, but issues that was going on during their 4 years at college or whatever that amount of time at said institution was that no one knew about. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, these athletes are going through things that we as fans have no idea about and no idea how it's affecting their performance on whatever game day that they have at your institution or at your favorite school. So sometimes you have to give these kids a little bit of a break. I'm not saying all the time, because some of these kids really are not engaged in their sport. But a lot of times these kids are going on with things outside of the framework of their individual sport that is affecting them within their individual sport. And I want people to understand sometimes, don't jump on these kids so fast. Because if you only knew what was going on off the field, it would probably change your opinion on what they're doing on the field. It can be back at home. I say this all the time, y'all. I was, 700 some miles away from home, something like that. And when you're on campus 700 miles away from home, especially then when you didn't have the ability to FaceTime, to call as readily or as easy because you had to go on a landline. Although we did have cell phones, but if you know back then it was you had to pay by the minute, whatever. It was a little bit more difficult. And those times can get lonely. And I've had people die in my family when I was in school, and I couldn't get back home. So there have been other issues when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds in their personal life that happens that can affect their play. All I'm saying is, like I said, what happened today hit me stronger than what has happened in the past. Same thing happened with kids. If sometimes y'all as fans send a nice tweet, send a nice DM sometimes to these young fellas, and it can make a difference. Just let you know. I know back in my day, we used to get letters at Current One from a fan. A note from a fan, it can be one sentence, can change your day. Well, I'm not that old, Jeff, but you right though. So man, it was awesome, man. It was awesome to get that one from Corey Price. Now to talk about the play, y'all, uh, Bubba, 30 years, bro. It's I know it hits you hard, man, when you start thinking about it. Shit, having my last game in college was almost 30 years ago. Um, and that Georgia game, that would have been 95. I think that was 95 year. It wasn't 96. So I would say this: that play there, the play was more than 30 years ago, but it's 30 years. This year will be 30 years since I played. So we are playing Georgia. And if you don't know Georgia back then, they had probably one or two best quarterbacks in the conference. They had what's the Bryce Hunter, and they had somebody else, a receiver. Can't think of his name right now. And they had Hines Ward. I think that was Hines Ward's freshman year. And they came with an unbelievable passing attack. So that was Zaire. That was Eric Zaire's year, peanut butter. So it's crazy, man. I had some picks against some really good quarterbacks. And then Melvin Hill. Melvin Hill gave me two. But Peyton gave me one. Eric Zaire gave me one. Tannehill gave me one. Mississippi State quarterback gave me one when Eric Mose was there. Who else? I'm trying to think of all my picks. Then the other picks I think were non-conference. Louisville, I got one or two from Louisville. Whatever. So, y'all, we are hanging in there this game. This is a game where our offense actually put points on the board. Offense scored 20-ish points. So I think we're down. What was the score? I think we're down 23-27 at this moment. That sounds about right. 23-27. The fumble recovery peanut butter, I don't remember, but I did have this pick six. So in this game now, I know I had one other chance for a pick, didn't get it. Not a real chance. I think I had another good PBU, but it wasn't like where I got my hands on it. So in this essence, in this game, I should have had two picks. One I dropped, like drop. So, and it's kind of on the same route concept. Now, y'all, I want y'all to understand. Now we just teaching because we close to the damn football season. I teach this a lot, y'all. Remember, was it yesterday I said about being able to play multiple positions, how much of an advantage it is. So at the quarterback position, you have an initial read. That initial read, you might read the cornerback. So just think about it. I have the ball and I'm looking over here, my initial read might be, let me check that cornerback to see if he sits or he bails a little bit. If he sits, I'm going to throw, in essence, let's say they run a smash route. Smash route is any type of short route with a sail route, a corner route behind it. So if that cornerback sits, I might pump him and throw the sail route if it's too high. If he backpedals and play a little soft, I might tip my shoulder up and then come back down and throw the hitch or the arrow route, right? just being simplistic about it, right? But let's just say, for some reason, neither one are open, right? So I'm reading corner to safety, but if neither one's open and the first read is done, now my scan is inside out. So if I'm the corner on the other side, on the side I'm not looking on, and y'all, I don't know if this is just me or I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this way. So as a quarterback, I know if I'm not on the first read, if I can get as close to the sideline as possible, if the routes are not dig posts, if the routes are on the sideline, on from the hash, really, it depends. And this is why it's hard. It depends on what route. If the route is on if the hash and the top of the numbers, I probably gotta get to the bottom of the numbers to be able to get to the hash. If the route is in between the hash and the sideline, I can get all the way to the sideline, depending on how deep the route is. Remember, y'all will understand this when we start getting to the film breakdown of you should be able to break 1/3 of the distance of the ball thrown, not the route length, because the quarterback could be 10 yards back. A 5-yard hitch is not a 5-yard. The ball travels more than 5 yards because of where the ball starts. So those are little things that, man, I appreciate Coach Smith teaching us because it really, being an engineer and a math guy, I don't think he understood maybe how much I started calculating. So if he is between the hash and the sideline, I can get to the sideline probably and make a pick on a hash, middle of the hash and a sideline route. So my thing is, I don't know how many picks I got this way. Maybe 4, 3 definitely. So what I used to do, especially if it's to our sideline, because what happened when you're on your sideline, your jersey number blends in with the guys on the sideline. So he doesn't see that. He might think you're on the sideline if he's scanning, right? Or he might not even get to you because out of peripheral, he sees sideline. That guy's on the sideline. So Eric Zaire on that play got pressured. And he scrambled to, I'm going to just say, I know the play. He scrambled to his right. So let's say he scrambled to the side that Joe Kraft centers on. He scrambled to his right. So when he scrambled, he's looking, eyes here, doesn't get to the sideline. So I think it's Chad Hudson. I'm pretty sure Chad Hudson pulled him up. So when a quarterback rolls out, one of the linebackers have to come out of coverage. And here's where you start thinking, oh, if a linebacker has to come out of coverage and you're playing a really smart quarterback, the quarterback's going to probably replace him with the ball. And as the quarterback rolls, his zone gets close to the sideline. So I was on the sideline and I was camped out on the sideline waiting on him to throw because the receiver started breaking to the sideline because they're trying to marry the path of Eric Zaire. So my patient, I know the routes, I see the guys, stay on the sideline. Chad Hudson pulls him up, force him to throw a bad ball. He throws it, I cut in front, and that leads to that picture. And after we pick that ball off, I'm going to tell you, this is how crazy your mind works. I can't remember everything, but I tell you right now, I intercepted that ball and I returned it. And I'm pretty sure it was 6. I think it was over 6.5 minutes left in the game. This is the fourth quarter. This puts us up 30-27. And it's 6 minutes and something left in the fourth. Usually, I say this with my kids now in high school, coaching defensive back, I'm like, y'all, if you get your hands on the ball, we have to take it. Interception can change the trajectory of a game, especially a quarterback. He starts second guessing himself. He starts pressing because you picked off a ball. One interception in the first quarter can change the entire game because of the psyche. I've been a quarterback. I know some quarterbacks' psyche is not very good. Well, Eric Zaire is not one of those guys who have a bad psyche. I scored, let's say, 640. We kick it off. Let's say he got the ball back with 6 minutes and 40 seconds. I learned from that day, y'all. I learned from that day. If you are a starter and you make a big play, don't do too much celebrating. Because what happens is, guess who gets the ball back if you score? They get the ball back. Guess what happens if you celebrate too much? You're probably too tired to get back on the field. So the backup is on the field. And now you don't have no say of what happens when they get back on the field. Because what happens with them is they walk straight off the field, except the guy who's chasing. Because if you look, Hines Ward chased me and this big offensive lineman chased me. And they're not as amped, adrenaline, all that stuff. So I went to the sideline. I had to sit for a few plays. So we scored. Eric Zaire gets the ball. I think Eric Zaire scored, and they went up 37-34. And it seemed like it was less than a minute, but it's probably, let's say, it was less than 2 minutes. Definitely less than 2 minutes game clock. When I got back on the field, they were at like the 50-yard line. There's another game that slipped away. That game right there would have put us. What did we finish that year? We finished 4-7, I think. We're at least 5-6, and this was at the end of the yearish. If you're 5-6 and you beat Georgia, who was a good team back then, I think Robert Edwards. Was Robert Edwards on? Robert Edwards definitely played the next year. He might have been hurt this year. So they had a great offense. Bryce Hunter. Who's the other? I gotta check this out. Hold on, y'all. It was Bryce Hunter. It was Hines Ward, and it was they had another top flight a receiver. Yeah, see, I didn't play in that game, Tennessee. I had a concussion. I think the couple weeks after this Georgia game at Mississippi State. I didn't play the last 2 or 3 games of that season. So I missed that Tennessee game. We played great ball. We had George Harris played corner that game. He played damn good football because we was light at the defensive. We was light at defensive backs. I was hurt. Somebody else was hurt. Well, I had the issues then. I think the game before, I think the Vandy game, we lost another corner. 95 Georgia. No, not. Ooh, that might have been 94 then. Eric Zaire was 94. Was that 94? 95. It had to been 94 then. I take that back. See, man, you're getting a little old. 94 is when that game happened. Yep, that's 1994, y'all, not 95. That was 94. That was a 1-10 season. Who was the other receiver though? I would have said 95 too, but it was 94. Graham. No, Juan Daniels. That was the other. Juan Daniels and Bryce Hunter. Those were the 2 marquee players. And Hines Ward, I think, was a freshman. Wow, John, that's the first game you attended live. That was a great game to go to, y'all. That 94 game, even though we were 1-10, and that was towards the end of the season. So I did play the end of that year. That was towards the end of the season. That was a damn good game to be a part of. It's unfortunate that we just could not pull off like those close games. Like if I did get concussed later on, Louisiana Monroe. Like I want y'all to understand this. Just think about this. We beat Louisville. Man, I can't believe I'm going through this. We beat Louisville 20-14. Florida just skull dragged us. Indiana beat us pretty bad. That was at Indiana. We lost to South Carolina 9-23. We lost to LSU 13-17. That was at their place. We lost to Georgia at home 30-34. We lost to Vanderbilt 6-24. We lost to Louisiana Monroe 14-21. So honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have won 6 games that year. If first of all, is Trent DeJuro doesn't get murdered, RIP, and if Pookie Jones comes back and plays, and he's our starting quarterback this year. Like that team it's unfortunate that that team is going to remember as a bad team, but that team on paper was a good team. We just didn't, our quarterbacks were young. So that was a rough season, y'all. That was rough. But that was big, man. That was big. That was John, if that was the first game you came to, I'm sure there was easy tickets to get to because that was week 7. And I'm sure there was probably only 20,000 people in the stands because it was a coolish game, as I remember correctly. Let's see. Do they give? Ooh, but look, I played so long ago, they don't have no stats on the game. Oh, that is crazy. But good times, man. Good times. Beat Louisville start the season, yep. First time I played them in forever. And we couldn't win a game after that. Oh, why, John? Because you have 2 and your wife doesn't come? Tanner, yes. I appreciate that, brother. 17 days away. So, what I wanted to go over, y'all, is let me find it. Because I wanted to go over yesterday, but we talked a little bit. As always. Let me do this, y'all. I need an assistant to help me with these things. How should I do this? Let's see. So, Dad has 4. Ah. So, John, let me ask you a question if you can answer. How much has the ticket prices gone up? Let's say, how much has the ticket price going up since 2021? Kill Sanford was a burner. Kill Sanford was on. Kill Sanford was the same class as me. We both came in '93. Him and Littleton Ward were Bryan Station. Yep, Bryan Station legends. Oh yeah, so you have no idea, John. John, you have no idea how much it costs. So your dad is still paying for it, John. You around my age though, right, John? Is your dad grandfather then? Because he's had to have these tickets for a long time. If you had it, if you had them when I was playing, like I said, that's 30 years ago. Ah, fair enough, John. Fair enough. You have a great dad, dude. They get 4 tickets. Has y'all seat changed because of the cost of it? I wanted your seats have changed. Because I know this. I had friends of the family that had tickets they had season tickets to Dallas Cowboys. And when Jimmy built that, I mean, not Jimmy Johnson. When Jerry Jones built that new stadium and he put those, what's the private license thing? What they call P something L, whatever, PSL, something like that. They had to move their seats because the entry for the seat they had was like tens of thousands of dollars just to have the rights for the seat, not to pay for the games. He's a doctor. Got you, John. John, now I understand, John. You was born on third base. Ah, okay. So y'all did have to move. That's awesome, man. Hey, tell your dad I appreciate him, man, because that's big. So he's had them tickets 50 years or something, 40 years, John. Um, this is just something that I harp on. Okay. Which end zone, John? Because I might stand by y'all all the time. Y'all, when I go to a Kentucky game, I always stand in the end zone concourse because I get the best view of a game from a football player's aspect or a film watcher's from the end zone. So I buy a ticket anywhere and I just stand in the concourse. I have never sat down at a football game if I'm by myself. Okay. I've been on both sides. I'm usually on the student section side, usually. Um, but I have been on the other side. The other side is the um where the alums usually have their seats. A lot of our seats are back there. K Club guys. You always stand. See, John, we might have talked before. If you stand back there, you might have met me before. I'm always back there. I've stood back there with Anthony White before. Stood back there with Lamont Smith before. I stood back there by myself. John, they really okay. I guess I've never had a problem. Um, but that's where I stand. So this list came out a few days ago, a couple days ago. If you have heard me talk anytime, Tanner, I don't think I'm able to come to a game, y'all. Here's the problem with me right now. It's a double-edged sword. So I used to come to at least 2 games a year. Now I'm a football coach. I've been a football coach since 2021, 22. So usually play on Friday nights. When we play on Thursday nights, now my daughter plays volleyball. So them Saturdays are pretty much taken up for the next 2 years. So I probably can't make it. We have a Thursday night game. We should have another Thursday night game in the middle of the season. Last year, my Thursday night games fell on when we were on the road, so I couldn't come. Let's see. I don't know because here in Louisiana, because of the shortage of refs, I think you're supposed to play 2 Thursday night games, and they're not scheduled before the season. They just tell you during the season. So we have a Thursday night game, the first game of the season, and that's not because of the ref. That's because of someone else using their facilities for a Friday night game. So they bumped our game up to Thursday. But if there's a Thursday night game and it's a home game, I'll try to make it this year. But right now, I don't think so. I have 2 tickets. The price went up $400 since 2022. And it's in the end zone where the visiting team comes out. 2 tickets, so the $200 more per ticket since 2022. And you get what, 6 home games? 5 to 6 home games? So we're talking, let's say $40. That's a lot. $40 extra. Sheesh. 30 years he has 4 tickets. So y'all just hit my time. I was going out when y'all started y'all season ticket voyage. Damn, 6 tickets is crazy, John. In a lock pass. Okay. Your dad had it going on. Or your dad has it going on. 6 tickets, now 4. Sheesh. In a parking pass. So this list, man, means a lot, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. And this is why it bothers me. We talked about this today on the Locker 411. Y'all, obviously the lock is on Wednesdays because we just had it. We ended that show about about an hour ago. It's Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Anthony White. Y'all have to watch. If y'all watching this show, y'all have to watch. This show is just one guy talking. One former athlete. Get 2 of us. Y'all. It's a hoot. Just show my age saying that. So, when Mark Stoops got here, I wasn't a fan of the hire. Mark Stoops grew on me. I still don't like a lot of the things that he did with the program because of just my old ways. But his ways work. Here's what I want you to understand. This poll is the AP voters' most underrated team since 2014. Those are Stoops years. We are 15th. Indiana's only at 2 because of the last couple of years. Hey, Indiana wouldn't be number 2 if it wasn't for the last couple of years. I think we're a top 10 team, to be honest with you. And that's all because of Stoops. And for me, honestly, the way we have treated that man at the tail end of his career, I understand the record wasn't what you wanted. I understand that maybe there were some things that maybe he said some things, whatever. He has said things since he's been here. But now when things are not going well, it looks worse. I want people to understand that man, that since 12 to 2025 is the golden era of Kentucky football. And I truly hope that as time goes by, we truly understand what he did for this program and his coaches. What they did for this program trumps a lot. Even the last 2 years. Because the crazy thing about the last 2 years, and maybe I'll get into it, that 2018 and that 2021 season were special. Everything went right for us. That 2024-2025 season, nothing went right. Injuries. Plays here or there. We just talked about, Anthony and I talked about the Texas game. That's a win last year. So that changes that. Did we win 5 games last year? That changed that 5-win season to at least a 6. And we should have beat Ole Miss. So now you're at 7. And that South Carolina game was a joke. That's 8. I want people to understand that, dude, what that man brought this program, just because the last 2 years were not what y'all think, is ridiculous. Things that we never fathom in this conference. You're not talking about the damn Big Ten, the ACC, no, in this conference, to do what he did in this conference is more than extraordinary. And it, as a guy who was not on his side day one, I really wasn't on his side, actually in the middle, because of some of the way these players acted. But at the end of the day, he made 7 wins a bad season. We won 5 last year. That's a bad season. With, like I said, he could have easily been 6. The Texas game is just what the hell. Easy 6. Should have been 7. And if you had 7 and you playing Louisville at the end with 7 wins, that game could be different. Most underrated teams since 2024, we ranked 15th. That's pretty damn good, y'all. To win 10 games twice and still be underappreciated, that guy did things here that might not ever be done again. Let's hope it can be done, because I was wrong before he got here. I'm on the record saying the most games we can be consistent at is 6. If we win 7 games or 8 games, we should be more than elated. And he trumped that by 2 games. Twice. So this ranking here shows how good Coach, shows the progress Stoops made to this program. And it's starting to be underappreciated. And it should never be swept on the rug in any way because of the last 2 seasons. That man elevated this program to this level. And Tulane is 8 because of Willie Fritz. Y'all, if you know, I'm a big fan of Coach Trailer and Willie Fritz. That's why they're 8. And Ole Miss, and BYU has an amazing coach too. So, again, we are 15th in the SEC conference. 15th since 2014. And I'll say this: if you take off the last 2 years, we probably higher on this list. That's been underrated. I just want fans to really not forget where this program was when Stoops got here to where it is now. Even though you don't like where it ended, the program is still better than what the program is better than what he received it as. Even on the downward trajectory of his tenure here, it's still better than what it was when he got here. So, I'm off my rant, y'all. So, listen, I just thought about this. Eesh. Tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow, we have a scrimmage. I just thought about this. We have a scrimmage. There is a high likelihood that I won't get back before 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I don't get back before 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, we won't broadcast tomorrow. There's a chance it's a scrimmage, but it's like an hour away pretty much. I can probably get back by it'll be close. But if I don't, y'all, that's the reason why. So for the people on the TikToks and the Instagrams and all that stuff, I don't know how to notify y'all. I can notify people on Twitter because I can just type a post. I guess I can create a picture. I don't know. We'll see. So I might not be here tomorrow. We have a scrimmage. So if you don't hear me tomorrow, I will see you guys Friday. As always, man. Hold on, I got some questions here. I like Stoops, but I agree it was time. See, but that's not true, Peanut Butter. It wasn't just 3 stars, man. And the portal didn't handicap them. It was the money. I want people to understand, y'all, how many 4-star players we got during the Stoops era. A lot. I mean, you just think about it. The Dane Key, Baron Brown, Deion Walker class. Come on, man. We had class with 4-star players, like a lot of them. We were consistently getting 4 stars. And when the portal happened, remember the Ray Davis, the even like last year, the Steph McCollum NIL, but the Ray Davises, the Keydron Smiths, the Jock Jones, the Will Levis, the Wandale Robinson. The portal wasn't our problem. We got guys from the portal. The left tackle came from LSU. I keep wanting to think of the guy's name. I can't think of it. Like, the portal wasn't a problem. We actually did a damn good job of grabbing guys from the portal. Our problem when we had to start paying guys. We didn't do well budgeting our funds. The only thing that ever really bothered me was the Texas A&M trader thing. Got it. Here's what I want y'all to understand, y'all. I totally get that. Have y'all never heard of Tommy Tuberville? Look, and this is where I get honest and where fans don't like me with. Y'all, Kentucky generally will be a stepping stone job. Kentucky does not have the resources that the big boys have. They don't. Not only that, the guy's brother coached at a place that has the resource. So he knows what it could be. I guarantee you, when Mark Stoops won 10 games in 2021, he thought at that moment he was out of here because he's done enough to elevate himself to a bigger opportunity. It never came. That is the problem. Every coach is looking for damn. Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss for LSU. If you can leave Ole Miss for LSU, y'all, come on now. The whole Texas A&M, if you watch the Locker 411, you would have got out. Go watch some of those old episodes. Stoop time management. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing about Stoop time management, as y'all put it. Y'all only remember the bad ones. There were some. Who was that game? It was a game recently where they did everything right as far as time management, and the players fucked it up. Pass, got themselves down there, kick a field goal, and something happened. I think that was last year before. It's the same way, y'all. And here's the thing. Coaches should be blamed for it. Totally get it. Because they are the CEO. No doubt about it. When a company goes down, it could be one of their salesmen screw something up, but the CEO, CFO, COO gets all the blame. Totally get it. It's like the damn Florida game. What that been? 2016? Or was it 2015? Where they scored those 2 touchdowns where no one was guarding them because the players were not lined up. Like, you blame that on Stoops, but that's why you have so many coaches. There's guys in the press box that have the best viewpoint that are supposed to, hey, coach, we on cover, call a timeout. Y'all believe, as fans, that the timeout is dictated solely by the head coach. It's not. It's dictated by the entire team of coaches. There are certain people that have certain responsibilities. Like certain coaches have responsibility by looking at the play clock. As a head coach and as coach, you can't see everything. There is a coach in the press box. Responsibility is the play clock. There's a coach. Responsibility is whatever. Like, that's why there's a lot of coaches in the press box. There's not like in high school, you might only have one guy in the press box. In college, you have a multitude of guys. So those guys are supposed to help the coaches because they're at a better angle. And they have done a shitty job sometimes. So therefore, if they doing a shitty job, that's on the head coach to make sure the right people upstairs in the booth. So now some of that time management ends up on Coach Stoops' head, but some guys up in that press box ain't doing their damn job. There's some players who, oh my God. I've seen some stuff, y'all. I've seen some stuff while I played, and I've seen some stuff since I played with coaches, and there have been some idiotic stuff that the coach has to take the blame for, and it ain't his fucking fault. But that's neither here nor there. Appreciate y'all, man. This was a good. I needed this day. I appreciate y'all for making me feel special on this day. Y'all were awesome today. I appreciate it. As I finish talking, like, comment, subscribe, follow, hit the notification button. While y'all at it, remember on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself and Anthony White, we broadcast for about the same time. We usually go an hour plus. Go follow us on the Locker 411, all social media platform. And while you at that, trying to find at the Locker 411, try to find these handles that I'm about to show right now. As I stop talking, find you one handle that you wanna follow. If you're not on TikTok, go get a TikTok account. It's good people over there. TikTok has done me well. Facebook, I'm on Facebook. Obviously at Van House. I'm on, you know what? Why am I doing this now? Again, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. If the scrimmage ends at a good time. If not, I'll see y'all Friday night. I'm out.
Thanks for tuning in to Late Night with Styles. We appreciate you spending your late night hour with us. Make sure to hit that follow and subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, take care. We out.